Hey, folks, welcome to another episode of Cutter One. I am your host, Just Jay, your resident troublemaker and your resident culture warrior. Anyway, I wanted to do something a little different this time. I know since I started the channel, the majority of episodes have been sort of ragging on Rings of Power. And yes, I've seen the comments. Some of you are like, okay, let it go. As long as there's media out there still talking about it, so will I. And I guess as a fan of Tolkien, I guess I'm going to keep talking about it till I feel I've sort of worked it out of my system, cleansed myself of it. But that's neither here nor there. I decided I wanted to do something different with this episode. I figured I had the perfect opportunity because I got something in the mail today that was actually just okay. You guys are going to see this tomorrow. I'm filming this right now. It is Tuesday night, okay, the 15th of November. You guys are going to see this tomorrow, my tomorrow, but it's your today. Yeah, you know what I mean, okay? It's not that complicated. But I got this today on the 15th, and it's actually the first day it's available in the United States. It's the latest Tolkien book. Actually, the latest J.R.R. Tolkien book to be released, official J.R.R. Tolkien book to be released, and this one is the Fall of Numenor, as edited by Brian Sibley. Okay, and it's also got illustrations by Alan Lee. Now, for those of you who may be Tolkien fans, you know how cool that is. Alan Lee's work is famous amongst Tolkien circles. He's been an illustrator of Tolkien's work for a long, long time, and a lot of his illustrations are iconic with the whole look and feel of Middle-earth and its inhabitants. But it's this is the latest book. It was released in the United States today. I believe it came out on the 10th over in Europe, but today, the 15th, it was released in the States, and I got my hand on a copy today. So I just wanted to sort of do a quick review of it. Here it is. Here it is, The Fall of Numenor. Love that artwork. Love that artwork. It's badass, if you ask me. So, and what's interesting is you can see right here, that's Sauron. That's Sauron during the destruction of Numenor. So that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool little tidbit right there. So I got my hands on it today. Just came in today. I have not actually read through the whole thing. I've sort of skimmed through it real quick, but I just wanted to share it with you guys. Like I said, I figured instead of just bitching about the Rings of Power and complaining and stuff like that, there should also be some positive stuff. So I figured a real quick overview of this book would be a good start, a good positive thing. So let's get right into it. Obviously, if you're a Tolkien fan, you're going to want to get your hands on a copy of this. It basically, to sum it up, okay, it is what Brian Sibley did was he went through all the previous existing sources. So previously, if you wanted to get information regarding the Second Age, okay, of Tolkien's world, you had to go to multiple different sources, and you'll see, like over here. I always screw this up. Over here, I've got a bunch of Tolkien books. I've got the histories are over there, and Silmarillion, and the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and The Hobbit, and all that stuff. Okay, so previously, if you wanted to get Second Age information, you had to go to. There was most of the books contained some information, so you might need something from Unfinished Tales. The info you might be looking for, it might be in Volume 7 of the Histories, or it might be in an appendice in Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, etc., etc. Well, what Brian Sibley has done is he sort of collated that all into one book. Okay, so this isn't like a book like the story of the Fall of Numenor. It's more like, think of it as like a history book that just focuses on the Second Age. Okay, and it actually, the title, The Fall of Numenor, is sort of a misnomer because that's actually not the entire title. The entire title is, if you can see it there. It's The Fall of Numenor and Other Tales from the Second Age of Middle-earth. Okay, and you can see where he says compiled from The Lord of the Rings, Silmarillion, Unfinished Tales, volumes from the Histories of Middle-earth by Christopher Tolkien, and other sources. So he's sort of compiled it all into one handy-dandy little book, so you're not having to pull out 8, 9 different books to try and find the info you want on the Second Age. It's all sort of compiled into this one book. He sort of followed some conventions in terms of what Hofstadter did with the nature of Middle-earth, which is another book I have back here. Insofar as when he's quoting Tolkien directly, it's a larger font. It's somewhat bigger, and then sort of his notes are in a sort of smaller font by comparison, so that visually you can see, who's saying what part. But the one thing that jumped out at me that I really, really, really liked about this is the way that he lays things out, and you can see it here. You have not only the page numbers, right? Okay, so you would have the page numbers here, okay? But he lays it out chronologically. There we go. Sorry. He lays it out chronologically, so you can jump by year. You can search things by events, by the year of the Second Age. And the entire thing's laid out chronologically like that, and I thought that was a really, really cool way of handling it. It's got, the illustrations are really, really nice. I'm just trying to see if I can't pull up one real quick right here. Yeah, here's one of the Alan Lee's illustrations. This is the elves, I believe, first entering Angband. No, not Angband. Yeah, Angband with the defeat of Morgoth. So yeah, that's looking pretty cool, and some of the other illustrations are equally as impressive. There's dozens of them, and in between you have also these other little additional illustrations that are done, to sort of highlight a certain part, and it's got the little. I'll bring it up right here. It's got the little fabric page marker, little bookmark that's sort of sewn into the whole thing. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm really liking it. I'm liking it as it's sort of like a one-stop shop for everything. Let's see, there's some more artwork. There you go. It's sort of a one-stop shop for the Second Age. So, like I said, I've skimmed through it. I haven't read it too much in depth at the moment. I sort of just wanted to get the overall feel for it. Is it worth the $40 that I paid for it? And I would definitely say yes. I would definitely say it is definitely worth the money. Obviously, if you're a Tolkien fan, you're already going to assume it's worth the money, and you would not be wrong. If you're somebody just getting into Tolkien, particularly, okay, and we're going to bring it back to Rings of Power. I know some of you hate me, still going on about the show weeks after it's ended, but let me just say this. If you are somebody whose introduction to Tolkien is with the Rings of Power, and you're hearing all this cacophony of noise around you about people saying it's not true to the lore, and this is BS and that's BS, this is the book you want as your sort of stepping stone. Obviously, you want the Lord of the Rings and you want the Hobbit because they're like narrative stories. But in terms of this is like would help explain to you what people are saying is wrong with the show, other than the acting and storytelling and writing and crappy looking armor and ridiculous plot lines and plot armor and blah, blah, blah. Other than that, but when people are talking about like lore related stuff, this would be a thing because like I said, it lays it out chronologically. You can jump right to, when Galadriel's going through Khazad-dûm with Celebrian, and stuff like that. You can jump right to that part in the book because he's laid it out both, like I said, numerically based on the pages as well as chronologically based on, what year during the Second Age things happened. So I thought that was really, really cool. It's definitely, if you are a Tolkien fan, it's definitely one you want to add to the collection. Like I said, it prevents you from having to go from this book to that book. There's sometimes where I've said some things and I may have gotten something mixed up because, I've trying to reference 8 different books off the top of my head. So I may apply, a perfect example. Someone pointed out that I said that the wrong ring was the one that was made of gold, that I think I had said it was Narya when it's actually Vilya, which was, when you're trying to record yourself and you're trying to do things without having to stop and look back at the book, you're going to make little mistakes like that, like getting your name screwed up and backwards. This is good because it sort of it keeps you from having to try to remember what's going on in all the different books. And, was this in Unfinished Tales, or did I remember reading that? Was that in the section on Morgoth's Ring from like volume 10 of the histories? This sort of condenses all that. And I think it's really cool. I think it's really good. It's got Second Age all in one book, laid out chronologically. He's got additional stuff. He makes reference to... we learned about the dancing bears of Numenor from the Nature of Middle-earth book that came out last year from Hofstadter. He goes more into it. They make an appearance in this, the dancing bears of Numenor. So I think it's really cool. Would I recommend it to a Tolkien fan? Absolutely. I don't think I would need to. I think a Tolkien fan is probably just like, hell yeah, I'm getting it. Would I recommend it to somebody just getting into Tolkien? Maybe you're just now... because of all the hype about Rings of Power, you're just like, hey, I'm going to check out these Peter Jackson films and maybe pick up some of the books and stuff like that. I would definitely say, yeah, but definitely put it on your list. Obviously, I would go with the more core books, which would be Lord of the Rings trilogy, or if you can find it in a single volume, that's also awesome. But the Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, Silmarillion. But then this would definitely be one... particularly in regards to the show. Me personally, this is going to be great because as additional seasons of Rings of Power come out, now you've got the all-in-one guide that you can turn around and be like, no, that's not right. That should have been this, and it should have been this year, and it should have happened before this, not after that. So I think, for that purpose, alone, it's kind of cool because, be able to, I don't know, make YouTube videos complaining about the Rings of Power. I don't know. Anyway, I just thought I would share that with you guys. I thought it was just like a positive thing, instead of just complaining about something, doing something uplifting, a little bit positive, putting a positive spin on it. So I highly recommend it. It is J.R.R. Tolkien, The Fall of Numenor, edited by Brian Sibley. It's Sibley. And you can find it on Amazon. It's available on Amazon as well as other booksellers. So I would definitely recommend it. It seems pretty cool. I know I'm going to be diving into it probably over the next couple of days, just going and doing the deep dive into it. And I just wanted to share that with you. It just came in today. It just came out today. It came out just today, so I just got it. And I'm going to be reading it. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. If you're planning on getting it, if you are, let me know what you think of it. And I will, if you have any questions or comments, put them down in the comment section below. If you have any questions about the book, I will try to answer them. If there's something, hey, does it cover this? Hey, does it mention that? I'll do my best to try and find out. Can't guarantee, but I will definitely try to find out for you. And let me know if you're interested in getting it. If you like the video, please give the video a like. Feel free to share the video if you are so inclined. More importantly, though, if you could please subscribe if you have not already, that would be great. We're trying to build this thing up, and we're moving towards 500, and I want to keep it going. So that would be awesome. If you are a returning subscriber, you frickin' rock. You are the best. And I will talk to all you beautiful badasses on the next one. Until then, peace.